Hey, it's Evan, and for this week, since we're talking about nonviolent crime, I wanted to give my own personal experience with nonviolent crime, particularly shoplifting and deviance, since we went over it in the book. Um, as a young kid, a lot of times I kind of felt awkward or like uncomfortable in my own skin, and sometimes I would act out in like with deviant behavior just to kind of change the way I felt. And I think like at a young age, one of the ways I would do this was by shoplifting. And in the book it says usually the desire for someone to shoplift is either because they either want or need the item that they're trying to steal, or they're trying to get a thrill out of it. I think for the most part, I was more into the thrill. I grew up upper middle class family. I didn't I didn't really go without, but just when I would steal something, it would make me feel different, and like I knew I was doing something wrong. Like I knew it was against the law, but I just liked the way it made me feel. And throughout, I don't know the first time I stole something. I might have been 5 years old, but I'd steal candy from the store or comic books. And I even remember a time where I was with my mom at Sears and I stole some spark plugs. I didn't even know what they were, but like looking back, like I had stolen spark plugs, no idea what they were. I thought they looked cool, and I just liked the thrill of stealing. And I did that for a while, before ever getting caught. I think, maybe when I was like 8 or 9, I got caught for the first time stealing a comic book. And for the first time in my life, I'd had some ramifications of my actions, and didn't have any kind of legal consequences, but got called out by the store owner in front of an entire store full of people and my mom. And I think up until that point, it was like the most guilt and shame that I'd ever experienced in my life. I felt horrible about it. And after that experience, I think just the fear and the feeling of guilt and shame that prevented me from, stealing for a long time moving forward. Up until, I don't know, I was maybe 20, 25 or 26, and I was at a grocery store. It was kind of like a Whole Foods. This was when I was living out west, and I got in a cup of soup from their hot bar and went to go pay for it, and all the checkout lines were super long. I was like, you know what, I'm just going to eat the soup. I'll pay for it afterwards. Went ahead and did that, and ate the soup, and then when I was finished, I was like, whatever. I spend a lot of money at this grocery store, no big deal. I'm just going to walk out. So I justified it in my mind. I was like, it's not a big deal. Well, I ended up walking out of the store, getting grabbed by a security guard, and in turn, I got arrested. It's the only time I've been arrested in my life. But it was for stealing a cup of soup, and, I did have to pay some consequences. Went down on paper and ended up paying close to $1,000 for in like legal fees and damage fees for a cup of soup that would have cost me like $3. So yeah, I guess in that situation, like the punishment, it was serious for me. And I kind of learned my lesson. I try not to steal anything after that. And I mean, I still, the thing is, I still have kind of thoughts of it sometimes. Sometimes I'll be in a store and there'll be nobody around, and I'm like, man, like it'd be pretty easy to steal some stuff. But I try to be a responsible adult, that follows the rules and laws of society. And I think those two main negative interactions I've had where I got caught, doing something that was against the law and something that I shouldn't be doing. The feeling of shame and guilt, and just knowing that it's not what I'm supposed to do, is going to keep me from acting out in that way. But I do think it's funny how my brain is still like kind of like wired to sometimes want to act in deviant ways and do things that I'm not supposed to do. But I guess that's human nature, and I am a human. So that's what I got out of the chapter for the week. Thanks.